Flatlock seam is typically seen in activewear, and really what it is you're butting your fabric pieces together rather than placing your fabric pieces on top of one another to create a seam. The premise is you want that seam to sit flat against your body. It's also a decorative stitch. Now what we've done as far as setup, we have a 3-thread basic overlock stitch in a sense. We've got our needle in that far left position, we have our upper looper and our lower looper, and we've adjusted our stitch length to 2.5. I sometimes like to take that to 3 and 4 if I'm in a decorative mode with the Flatlock stitch. The biggest thing that happens with a Flatlock stitch is your tensions. You'll notice that I've placed my lower looper tension on 7. I've left my upper looper on 4. We're not using that right needle, so we don't have to adjust anything there, but I did put my left needle on 0. I also disengaged my cutting blade because in this instant I don't want to cut my fabric. So I'm using a sweatshirt fleece, and because I want the ladder portion or the decorative portion of my stitch to be on the right side of my fabric, I'm going to fold my fabric right sides together, and I'm going to be stitching along the fold. Now I did do a test run so I know where to place my needle in relationship to my fold, and I always suggest that you do that because every fabric's going to be a little bit different. This fabric's a little loftier, so I know that I'm going to place it right on that edge of my stitch finger. So now I've got everything lined up. I'm going to start sewing and continue to keep that folded edge lined up with that stitch finger. Any variation from that width will change what the stitch looks like when I open everything up, meaning I might have skinnier rungs versus wider rungs if the fabric tends to shift on me. Here's my stitch. You can see how it's very loopy. Things aren't meeting at the edge, and then let's go ahead and open this up. And this is where I was talking about if you're not paying attention and you're not grabbing enough fabric, what happens is you don't get a whole lot of rungs here, but you get a whole lot of loose on the back side. Okay, so there's more stitches sitting on the back side. We're going to continue to pull this apart. And here is our beautiful Flatlock stitch, and this works best with knit fabrics versus woven fabrics because knits have the ability to stretch and to move. And again, I wasn't paying attention when I was sewing, and this is what will happen. And on that back side, you can see I can't pull all that thread flat like I can pull that thread flat here. So it's very important when you're doing this stitch that you have some type of guide. So this is where that stitch width guide would come in handy because you could place your folded edge along that edge of that guide.